Welcome back to rTech. Today we're going to review the mobile phone add-on lens called OldShark. Okay, so this is a high-quality mobile add-on lens kit, and it's called the OldShark, and the name is very generic. It says high-definition camera lens kit. So it comes with 3 lenses in it. One is a fisheye lens, it's got a wide-angle lens, and it's also got a macro lens. So this unit is actually made in China, and I picked it up from Amazon.com. The unit is beautifully packed in this nice little box, and straight away when you open the box you see that you have these 2 clips which also have the 2 lenses stored in between. So I'm guessing one of them is a fisheye lens, one of them is the wide angle lens. So yeah, this needs a little bit of assembly. It's very basic. So you can take this off, and then you would see there's another box. You can see a small pouch under the packaging. So this is the wide angle lens, and let me pick this up. This could be the, yeah, so this is the fisheye lens. It looks great and it feels really solid. It's got this aluminum finish outside with a nice matte finish, and it just says 180-degree fisheye lens. It's got a nice red ring as well. Okay, I'm going to open the wide angle lens now. This is the wide angle lens, and it again beautifully finished. It's got this nice red ring around it, and this is separable because okay, I should say this is separable because this is separable. The macro lens is actually built inside, so when you join the 2 it becomes the wide angle lens. So when you unscrew this device, it becomes a macro lens. You cannot use one of the lens separately here. So either use the macro lens or use the wide angle lens with the macro lens. Okay, I'm opening the rest of the box. There's a nice little pouch to carry your lenses, and a good old handy manual. A cleaning cloth as well. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what else can I do with this. So I'm keeping the macro lens down, and in fact, you know, initially I tried fixing this into one of those holders. It didn't go through, obviously, because it's going to work only with the macro lens. The macro lens along with the wide angle lens, they make one unit, right? So just keep that in mind. The manual is very nice, nicely explained, very good English, really high quality stuff. Even the paper quality is so nice in this. There's basic instruction as to how to use it. Like I told you, the wide angle lens works with the macro lens. Just keep that in mind. So even the clips are of high quality. You can see it's got that nice rubber padding. It won't scratch your, you know, mobile phone screen. Look at that build quality. It's really, really nice. And this can fit on many of the mobile phones which have a rear camera. This also fits on the front camera. This can work on any camera for a mobile phone. First, we're going to test the wide angle lens, and as you can see, it really adds that much amount of real estate. This lens looks of, you know, good quality. I mean, there's not much of degradation in the film quality. I mean, the image looks pretty much the same. This is without the lens. It just adds so much of extra real estate. I know it's not perfect, all right? I know the edges are a little curvy. I'll show you that in the photographs I've taken. Look at this. So this is a photograph without the lens, right? And when I actually add the lens, you can see that there's a little bit of curvature in the straighter objects. So that's the only drawback I found in this lens. Otherwise, you know, the quality pretty much depends on your mobile phone. It gives you decent real estate to work with. It adds so much of extra area into that film of yours, whereas a normal mobile, you get very constricted space. So look at that. And when you add that on, it covers so much more, and the lens holds on pretty good. I was just walking down the street and I was walking in one of these buildings. I just decided to put this lens on, and I found that, you know, it holds on pretty well. It just doesn't slip. So I'm just showing you again with and without the lens. I'm adding it on right in front of you, and that's so much of real estate. So you can see much more with the same lens. You can record much more detail, and it holds on pretty well. So there's no fear of falling off. Okay, now back to the table. I'm going to test the fisheye lens right now. Okay, adding that on gives you so much of detail again. More real estate, a lot of curvature. Obviously, it's because it's a fisheye lens. It's supposed to have photos which are a little different, and you can do some creative stuff for this. But I know it's a good lens. You do lose a little bit of corners with the black end, but you know, clarity-wise, it's really nice. It looks like it can do stuff. Okay. Now getting to my favorite part, the macro lens. So I'm going to disassemble lens, and I'm mounting just the macro lens, which looks amazing. Look at that scissor. I mean, I'm just looking at it at so much of detail. It looks like I'm holding it against a microscope of some sort, because I can see the aberrations and the dents on that screwdriver head. So it does capture so much of detail. It's a little difficult to focus on too. I can assure you that, you know, it's, unless you have some stable hands, if you don't have stable hands, you're not going to get some clear image. So yeah, you can see a lot with this. Look at that screwdriver head. So it's so much more detail. You can actually see how much of beating these things take. I mean, when you look at it from far, it looks like nothing's wrong, but it does capture so much of detail. And this is my favorite lens, apart from the wide angle lens, obviously. So this is the print on that box, which we saw in the beginning. And you can even see the amount of detail it captures at the macro level. Look at that. I'm just looking at another lens through this lens. Not clear enough to focus, but even the camera struggles a bit. But if you try hard, you do get it in focus. That's the fingertip. The fingerprints are so clearly visible using this. And a closer look at the skin, and look at the amount of detail you can capture. This thing is really nice to use. That's the table with a little bit of grain on it. I mean, it just looks like, it looks smooth from far, but it's got a lot of detail on it. So that's my short review on this. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the like or dislike button, and I'll see you on the next one.